In many ways, we continue to make strides toward LGBTQ equality in various corners of society.
One of those places is our houses of worship. Pearl Small brings us to one church in Portland where they've been on a journey of inclusion for years now. And that inclusion, they say, is a two-way street, meaning they want their LGBTQ members to be even more involved.
The lyrics to many of Ophelia Hukinney's favorite church songs haven't changed, but her feelings towards them have.
It is impossible to embody that, to really believe it, to be a part of the community full on.
As a queer Christian woman, that was her struggle, growing up singing and praying in houses of worship that were not accepting of LGBTQ+ members, until she found a church where she, her wife, and daughter are welcome.
Kind of feels like for the first time in a long time, you go from that spiritually hunched position to one where you can straighten your back and look up and see everyone eye to eye.
The last few years have been a historic time for LGBTQ+ communities, socially and politically, and much of that shift can also be felt in churches, with more and more announcing affirming practices.
This is just the beginning.
But there is still a lot of work to be done.
No amount of legislative change by that deliberative body is going to change like the substance of our actual churches, you know?
Hukinney believes a cultural shift has to come next. Her current church, Hope Gateway, has been affirming since 2014. They're now taking it a step further with a different message for queer members.
You know, you have always been welcome here, and so what is your capacity to lead, if you'd like?
By inviting queer members to stand in positions of power, Hukinney says they can move past just accepting them and fully embrace them.
Yeah, it's almost like a temperature change.
She's taken it upon herself to be one of those leaders, working in communications to support delegates who voted just last month to allow LGBTQ+ members in United Methodist churches to be ordained or appointed as ministers.
How can we welcome folks if we're putting up barriers or walls of who can be here and who can't?
Christy Dolan isn't a member of the LGBTQ+ community, but she is a pastor, and she never saw why the two would have to cancel each other out.
Jesus was most concerned about loving those who are pushed aside and those who are on the margins.
From a woman who has found love in leading churches, she wishes the same for others, regardless of who else they love.
To come to a place where people say, yes, you're queer, that's old news. Now let's get going on this work of ministry that's all of ours to carry.
And Hukinney is a prime example of someone who carries her share, now louder and prouder than ever before. In Portland, Pearl Small, News Center, Maine.